today I want to ask, what is our relationship with the Christian people? What does the Quran say about our relationship with the Christian people? The Quran says, you must believe in the books which came down to them. You have to believe. It's an article of faith. You must believe in the Torah. You must believe in the Gospel. You must believe in the Psalms of David. The Christians are going to be astonished when they listen to this from me, because nobody taught them about this. The Quran says, their food is lawful for you. طَعَامُهُمْ حِلٌّ لَكُمْ وَطَعَامُكُمْ حِلٌّ لَهُمْ. And your food is lawful for them. So Allah is building a bond between us, and you trying the best as you can to destroy that bond. What kind of people are you? Allah says you can marry their woman, but when you marry their woman, you have to respect their Christian faith. She must be given the freedom to live as a Christian. The Quran speaks and says, when you dispute with them, when you have any religious discussion with a Christian or a Jew, Allah says, do it in the best way possible. Do it in the most courteous way possible. Do it in the most refined way possible, not with boxing gloves to see who will win the debate. Wait for Judgment Day to see what's going to be your fate for having violated Allah's command in the Quran. But Allah says something more. And in my last lecture, I spent a long time with it. I can't spend that much time today. He speaks in Surah Al-Ma'idah. I have lots of verses of the Quran, but you're not patient enough to listen to me. You believe that I base everything on one verse. Allah speaks in Surah Al-Ma'idah. Al-Ma'idah, they asked Jesus to bring down a table laden with cooked food. It's called the Last Supper, I think. And this surah of the Quran is named after that Last Supper, Al-Ma'idah, a table laden with food which came down from heaven. And in this surah of the Quran, surah means chapter. In this surah, but surah means a wall which separates one from the other. In this surah of the Quran, Allah speaks of a Christian people who will be closest in love and affection for Muslims. Would they be Greek? Would they be Russians? Would they be Serbs? I don't use these terms. The Quran is speaking of a Christian people, not a Greek people, not a Russian people, not a Serbian people. They're talking about Christians. And I recognize the two words of Christianity, one of the East and one of the West. You may recognize other words as well. These are the two main words. And they both came out of Constantinople. One world is called the Orthodox Christian world, and the other is the Western world. And in the Western world, Rome dominated the Vatican. And then came the Protestant movement and so on. The Quran therefore speaks of a Christian people who will be closest in love and affection for you. So who are these Christian people? We know about one Christian people with whom we are prohibited from maintaining friendly ties. Who are they? Allah speaks in Surah Al-Ma'idah, the table laden with food. And He says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who have faith, لا تتخذوا اليهود والنصارى أولياء بعضهم أولياء بعض. Do not take such Jews and do not take such Christians as your friends and allies. بعضهم أولياء بعض, who are themselves friends and allies of each other. This verse could not be saying, don't take all Christians as your friends and allies. Don't take all Jews as your friends and allies. No, that's a schoolboy. Don't take such Jews and such Christians as your friends and allies, who themselves are friends and allies of each other. The Quran is telling us that in time to come there will be reconciliation between part of the Christian world and part of the Jewish world. And a Judeo-Christian alliance will emerge. Today that has come into being in the Zionist Judeo-Christian alliance, which has NATO as its military arm and Turkey as a member state of NATO. I know it's a bone in your throat, but I can't help it. If Turkey will remain in NATO until the Great War, Turkey will never leave NATO until the Great War. And when the Great War takes place, Turkey will be fighting with NATO. Wait and you will see. Wait and you will see. Don't take such Christians and such Jews as your friends and allies, who are friends and allies of each other. Whosoever from amongst you turn to them with friendship and alliance, like the Turkish government. فَإِنَّهُ مِنْهُمْ, you don't belong to us anymore, you belong to them. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَهْدِي الْقَوْمَ الظَّالِمِينَ. And Allah does not provide guidance to a wicked people, and that's what they are. They are a wicked people. They commit oppression. The greatest oppressors in the world today, and the United States of America, those who control power in the United States of America, are the greatest oppressors that mankind has ever known. And so those who will be closest in friendship and alliance to us could not be this Christian world, which was in alliance with the Jewish world. So then who are they? Allah says they will be closest in friendship and alliance to you. Who are they? ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّ مِنْهُمْ. Number one, they proclaim that they are Christian, so they're not a secularized people. Their primary loyalty is to their faith. They're not secularized. Number two, ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّ مِنْهُمْ كِسِّسِينَ وَرُهْبَانَ وَأَنَّهُمْ لَا يَسْتَكْبِرُونَ. Number two, they have the institution of the priesthood intact, and the priest commands respect in the society. Number three, they have the institution of monasticism, the monastery of Kosovo, the monk, the monastic way of life. When I go to Greece, I want to visit the monasteries. And number four, they are not an arrogant people, meaning they don't want to rule the world. These want to rule the world, but not them. So who are these Christian people who will be closest in love and affection for us? The answer is, it is not for us to decide. It is for us to wait until that event occurs which Allah has told us will come. You will see them becoming closest in love and affection for us. And if at that time you still have hatred in your heart for them, even though they are showing love and affection for you, you deserve the fate that awaits you. Oh yes, you deserve the fate that awaits you. So here you are. These are people who will become closest in love and affection for us, Christian people. And who are they? I have offered my opinion, but I've always said, do not accept my opinion until you are convinced that I am correct. I don't want parrots following me. My teacher taught me this way. And he used to stand up in the classroom, Maulana Dr. Muhammad Fadlur Rahman Ansari, rahimahullah. And he used to say, I'm proud of Imran because when I'm dead, he won't be a parrot, simply mechanically repeating whatever I have said. That's Darul Uloom education, not the education I got. So I respect your capacity for thinking. And so I don't want you to accept my opinion unless you are correct. You're convinced that I am correct. And my opinion is that it is the Orthodox Christian world that Allah is speaking of. Despite what has happened in the past, the Orthodox Christian world will eventually become closest in love and affection for us. And that is why Hagia Sophia is so important. Hagia Sophia is what binds us together, the Orthodox Christian world and the world which truly follows Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, not NATO. That it is this cathedral that both of us are attached to. They are attached to Hagia Sophia so much that all the church bells in Greece were ringing in pain and sorrow when they took the cathedral for the second time and made it a masjid. That's the pain they were suffering in Greece. Tears, singing in pain and sorrow for Hagia Sophia. And you were celebrating? Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you, celebrating while they are weeping. This is Hagia Sophia, and it is Hagia Sophia which will bring us back together. Now let's go to the prophecy before we return to the Christian world. Our prophet said that a Muslim army will conquer Constantinople. لَتَفْتَحَنَّ الْقُنْسْتَنْتِنِيَّةَ. You will most certainly conquer Constantinople. وَلَنِعْمَ الْأَمِيرُ آمِرُهَا وَلَنِعْمَ الْجَيْشُ ذَلِكَ الْجَيْشُ. And he praised the army, and he praised the commander, and all the sheep, and all the cattle, and all the camels, and all the goats, who refused to think, recognize this is what happened in 1453, that the fulfillment of prophecy took place in 1453. And when I try to teach them that you are wrong, correct them, they respond with all kind of vile comments, disrespect, disgraceful comments. They don't even know how to conduct a civilized, respectful dialogue. They don't even know how to differ with each other respectfully. But Allah refers to them. He says, وَلَقَدْ زَرَعْنَا لِجَهَنَّمَ كَثِيرًا مِنَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ. He says, huge numbers are destined for the hellfire. لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا وَلَهُمْ أَعْيُنٌ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ بِهَا وَلَهُمْ آذَانٌ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا. They have eyes but they can't see. They have ears but they can't hear. They have hearts but they don't understand. أُولَٰئِكَ كَالْأَنْعَامِ. They are just like cattle. بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّ. They're worse than cattle. And so they are celebrating, and these are weeping. But Hagia Sophia is going to bring us together when that army conquers Constantinople. When will it conquer Constantinople? We explained it in the last lecture, that it is only after the Great War, after Armageddon, after Jerusalem has come to center stage in the world, and Medina is in forlorn desolation, which is now, this is now, not 1453. When the Great War then takes place, then after that, within 7 years, the conquest of Constantinople will take place. And you still you're still sticking with that stupidness, that stupidity, that the conquest of Constantinople, prophesied by the Prophet, alayhi salatu wasalam, was fulfilled in 1453. What is the price you're going to pay for being so stupid and foolish? Now, when the conquest of Constantinople comes, and it is coming, and my Orthodox Christian world out there is listening to me, I am your brother. I am your brother, and I'm teaching you the Quran. And I'm teaching what our Prophet said, and you are smiling now because they never taught this to you. You're smiling now. That when the conquest of Constantinople does take place after the Great War, now we will return Hagia Sophia to you. That is why a Muslim army has to conquer Constantinople. Yes, because Constantinople is the bridge that binds us together. Hagia Sophia is the bridge that binds us together. The Ummah of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam and the Ummah of Nabi Isa alayhi salam, Jesus. We will return Hagia Sophia to you. And when we return Hagia Sophia to you, your hearts will melt.